All right, day 68 on the CDT. Let me make sure that's right. 64, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think it's 68. It's Monday, the 4th of July, and I am emotionally, psychologically, mentally drained from the rain. Um, I'm tired of running up mountains. I'm tired of running down mountains. I'm tired of trying to force miles in before 2 o'clock and then hoping and praying that the rain stays away, and then it never does. I've been in Colorado for 18 years. There's only 1 year that I can remember where the monsoon was this wet, meaning it was raining every damn day, and that was 2009 when I hiked the Colorado Trail. Usually the monsoon doesn't start in June. In the last few years especially, it started later. Even when I first moved to Colorado and the monsoon was a regular occurrence, we'd still have stable days. Stable meaning that it wouldn't rain. Out of 7 days in the week, maybe you get monsoons 5 of the days, and 2 of them you'd have stable days. And I'm not getting any stable days. It's been 2.5 weeks. I'll have to go back and look at the videos. It's been 2.5 weeks that I know of where I'm just getting rain every day. And it's either raining on me, you can see by the hair, or I'm getting lucky and the wind is pushing the storms away. But the last 3 days, the wind has pushed the storms, or the storms have stayed away until the very end of the day, and then it starts raining when I'm trying to find a camp spot and set up my tent, and so all my stuff gets wet, and it doesn't dry overnight, so the next morning I'm stuffing wet stuff into my pack. And so clothes, gear, tent, sleeping pad, my sleeping quilt, everything's wet, and I can't take an hour lunch and put my stuff out in the sun to let it dry, because I'm running from or away from or avoiding weather. And even if I did set it out and got it dry during lunch, if it's gonna pour rain, there was a thunderstorm that just passed over when I was trying to set up the camp. It's 7:15. I haven't filtered water, I haven't eaten nothing, because I had to throw up my tent in the rain and dive everything underneath it to try to keep it as dry as possible. It's kind of a moot point at this point. So psychologically, having your stuff wet all the time, every day for multiple weeks, the only time it's dry is when you air it out in the hotel room, that starts wearing on you. And I remember this distinctly from my PCT hike, where the first 13 and a half of the first 15 days when I was in Washington, it rained. And it was a soaking rain. It rained all day. And when I say 13 and a half, I don't mean we got a day and a half of nice weather. That day and a half of nice weather was flapjack, fool, get out of here. Mosquitoes. It stopped raining, so the mosquitoes are coming out. That's not cool. That day and a half of good weather was dispersed in hour here to a few hours there among the 15 days where the sun would peek out. We didn't get a consecutive day and a half of nice weather. It was 15 days of just rain, and like I said, it was soaking rain all day long, and your rain jacket, your rain pants, the rain cover on your pack, nothing survived. Everything got soaked. So if you had valuables like your phone, you buried them deep in your pack. Sorry, I got an itchy nose. This is a little bit better because I'm getting sun. I'm getting nice weather in the morning. and then early afternoon it's hit or miss whether I'm running from a storm or not. So this afternoon I was hiking in a direction east, I believe, and there was a thunderstorm ahead of me, and then behind me there was just a rainstorm, and I was hiking in sun. And so basically because I was high all day, like high meaning I hiked up to 13,000 feet to, I think it was Hassel Peak, and then I was at high elevation for most of the morning and early afternoon, and then we dropped back down and then hiked up to 12,500 foot peak, and then I was high elevation again, and then I dropped down to Highway 40 at Berthen Pass. So I didn't eat lunch on time, and so as I'm hiking, I see the thunderstorm ahead of me is moving slowly. The wind's pushing it out, but it's moving slowly. The rain behind me is getting pushed by that same wind. So I hiked to the edge of the thunderstorm, sat down and ate lunch for 20 minutes. Noticed that the storm behind me was catching up, so I packed my stuff up and continued hiking. I got rained on a little bit by the storm ahead of me because I was on the edge of it. But I'm like doing this dance between these two these two storms. I hit the low point, and then I got to run up the 12,500 foot peak so the storm behind me doesn't catch me up on the summit. And then I hike across the ridge, which thankfully was going north, I believe. The directions are confusing because the sun's behind clouds. So I think I was going north, and north had blue skies and sun. And so I was out of the rain's way, but then once as I started dropping to Highway 40, I curved back around, and I was back in the path of the nasty storms. Like, this dance it's tiresome. It is better than Washington on the PCT because I am getting good weather in the morning, but I'm basically having to plan my days where, like right now, I'm just above the pass of Highway 40, camping in some trees along a road, because tomorrow I'm going to, like in the morning, the first thing is I'm ascending Mount Flora, which is a 13er, and then I'm staying on the high ridge to get over to like all the various peaks on the way over to James Peak. So I got to get that, because it's a high 13er, I got to get that finished in the morning, and hopefully the rest of the day the weather holds. But I don't know, I think there was something inside of me that was just hoping that once I got up north of I-70 that the monsoon wouldn't be hitting as strong up here, but it is. I know I just ran for 8 minutes about the rain and how tiresome it is, but it just wears on you. When I got to Frisco, the transfer station, the bus station, to go over to Silverthorne, I got rained on. The day I was walking around, like my rest day, the day I was walking around in Silverthorne to look for a new pack, I got rained on. I haven't had a dry day in as long as I can remember, in the last 2.5 weeks. I think there was 1 or 2 in there, like where I had dodged storms, and so I didn't get rained on, but they were still in the vicinity, and I was still having to run up mountains. But I just don't remember them. It's just tiring. It's just so tiring when your stuff is always wet. And I'm exhausted. Like, I got up this morning and we were walking a bike path, I think, for like 2.5 miles, and then we started ascending. And because of such effort that I exerted yesterday on hiking the 13ers and then hiking the Argentine Spine and then hiking up Argentine Peak and then Mount Edwards and then just shy of Gray's Peak, like I was at 14,000 feet. And then I hiked like that descent, which I think is like 5 miles. And then once I got down to the trailhead, I hiked like another 5 miles. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I got up this morning, hiked the bike path, I was fine, but then as soon as I started ascending, I could feel my legs are they're just worn out, because of, number one, all the up and down, up and down, up and down, but number two, I'm not taking these slow. I'm pushing myself to get up them as quickly as possible, get across the ridges, get down in elevation, and like my energy was just low today. Like I still hiked 21 miles. The timing was okay. I think I was a little bit slow, but we did a lot of elevation again today, and there's a lot of elevation tomorrow. So, I love Colorado. I absolutely love Colorado. I need a break. Like I need to get to, it's still a little ways away, but I need to get to Wyoming, and I need to just for 3 days, I just need to walk flats. Which is, Wyoming's like, I think the first 10 days is nothing but flat walking, or thereabouts. And I just need a sunny day, not worrying about if a rainstorm's going to catch me on the summit of a peak, and I need not to go up and down. I need to walk some flats. Unfortunately, I still have like 2-ish days to Grand Lake. Once I get to Grand Lake, I'll see if I can hike in Rocky Mountain, if they'll let me camp, or if I gotta like run through Rocky Mountain and not camp. I'll explain that later. And then it's up to Steamboat. Once I get to Steamboat, I mean, we're almost in Wyoming, so I think it's another week or so in Colorado. And I'll miss it when I'm out of Colorado, but sitting here after 2.5 weeks of rain and running up and down mountains, and the high mileage I'm doing, I just need one of those good old-fashioned breaks. Okay, no more complaining. One thing I forgot, I did not record a message on the 30th of June because it was a rest day, but not really, because I was going around messing about with my shoes getting delayed and making sure that they were going to be at the next place that I was going to be. Also looking for backpacks and all that stuff. So on the 30th of June, I meant to give a shout out to all the June birthdays, because again, like my phone doesn't get reception, so a lot of times I can't reach out to y'all and say happy birthday. So happy birthday to all of those folks that had their birthdays in June. That's the first shout out. The second shout out is, today's the 4th of July. I hope all of you are, with friends or family or whatever it is, had, nice hikes or days off, barbecues, fireworks shows, whatever it may be. I hope that all of you had a wonderful holiday. And so the shout out is to just a day off to do, do something with family and friends. So, I said early on with these blogs, in the first video, or maybe it's the first few videos, I said a few things. One, the editing, like I'm doing these in one continuous recording, so I'm not doing some fancy editing. And two, I intend for this to be a real view of the trail, so everything's not going to be hunky-dory. This isn't, an Instagram wall of awesomeness. There's going to be a few days where you get videos and I'm just in crabby moods because 20 minutes before the rain, my clothes were dry. I was dry. I had dried off half my tent and was in the process of drying the rest of it by holding it in the wind and letting the sun hit it. And 20 minutes later, after the rain hit, nothing's dry again. So you're going to get some of those crappy videos. I'm not going to apologize because this is real. This is the trail. And I think we put a rosy or sunshiny view on a lot of things when maybe you're not okay. And today I'm not okay. I just need a day where it's not raining. Tomorrow would be great since I'm doing James Peak and the whole ridge. So if Mother Nature and the weather gods and the blue skies and the sun and the wind want to conspire to help me have a sunny, rain-free day tomorrow, I'm not going to complain. If they don't, then I guess I'll just run up the mountain some more. So, wah wah. Everyone have a wonderful evening. I hope that, again, you had a wonderful day off. And if you didn't get the day off, I'm sorry. Hopefully you get some double pay for that. And I'll talk to you folks tomorrow.